Happy Thursday, everybody. Andy and Steve from WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. We were off yesterday with the Valentine's Day, but we're back today to do the Unbreakable Sports Record Hall of Fame. We've also got your sneaky play of the day, stat of the day, and NBA and NHL props. Everything to get you ready to turn a profit over the next couple days. NBA is going on break, but still some games tonight. NHL is in full swing. They're back from All-Star break, so we'll go over some of these topics and get everyone ready for that. We've got a promo code that's available. We'll coming up here a little bit later. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing that I want to tell everybody is in the comments section. Now that we're done with football season, we're starting, a bunch of different Hall of Fame nominees. Tell us what you want. Tell us your one you want to nominate in the comment section, and if you want to come on and discuss it, just let us know as well. So start putting those in there because we got a lot of. We're done with football ones, so we'll be talking a hockey one today. So give us some other ones that you want us to talk about. I know you guys have submitted them over the last few weeks, but put them in there again. Let us know if you want to come on and discuss it. We would love to have you on there. So we're going to get back to doing them on Wednesdays. This week's just a little bit different. So, Steve, let's start with your stat of the day because it involves one of the NBA games today and a team total. What do we notice here about the Grizzlies?
So the Memphis Grizzlies have hit the team total under in 24 of their last 31 home games. Their team total is pretty low tonight at 104.5, but the Bucks do allow 119 points per game, which is the eighth most in the NBA. Well, interesting stat for tonight for one of the three games on the slate tonight.
I will tell you that I've watched the Bucks, and there is no way I will take an under on any NBA team to score under 104.5 against that defense.
I agree with you.
I mean, I know the Grizzlies kind of suck right now, but yeah, it's one to kind of keep in your back pocket, isn't it? I think maybe when they get a little bit better matchup.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't take an under against the Bucks either, especially on such a low team total. But yeah, like you said, the Grizzlies they have been struggling a little bit more recently, but they were holding on to things pretty well with dealing with all those injuries. They lose three or four of their top scorers, and they were still manageable. Jaren Jackson Jr. really took on a good amount of the workload on the offensive end of the floor, especially.
Steve, it is funny you bring up Jaren
Nice
Jackson
transition.
because we did not go over that. That was not planned. He's my sneaky play of the day. You said it, man. I got him over 1.5 made 3-pointers. I've been really enjoying these 1.5 made 3-pointers. Victor Wembanyama has been hitting over 1.5. LeBron has been hitting over 1.5, and now Jaren Jackson. Here's another guy. He's gone over in 6 straight games. 48 attempts in the last 6 games. Jaren Jackson Jr. This is not Steph Curry.
Right?
This is not Damian Lillard. Jaren Jackson has shot 48 3-pointers in the last 6 games. And yeah, you went over. Bucks defense sucks. So it's, if Memphis wants to compete, they're just going to have to keep up with, because Milwaukee's going to score. So I gotta imagine if we get another 6 or 7 3-point attempts, he's gonna make 2 of them. It's the same thing that's been going on with LeBron and Victor Wembanyama. Is they're getting the attempts. When I'm looking at these guys, they're making over 1.5. I don't want to see 2 of 2 or 2 of 3.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You want to see like 2 of 5, 2 of 6. So if he's getting all of these attempts, I mean, count me in to Jaren Jackson over 1.5 made 3-pointers. That is a sneaky play of the day. So, let's get into real quick here, Steve. Before we get into kind of some of the props and everything, let's just talk. It's kind of a dead time of year. So I did a video yesterday where I was talking about how I was kind of stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
Like it's like nothing bad, nothing great, just blah, and how that's kind of what a lot of the year is when you go through, like, obviously when you're blah and you're just kind of breaking even, like, it's not great, when you're trying to tell clients, hey, don't worry. Like, we're up 1 unit. Like, I know everyone wants to be up 30 units every week, but long term, it's just a lot of chunks of time like this where you're just grinding away and grinding away and grinding away. So, um, to piggyback off of that, like kind of just trying to focus on what's working really, really well. For me, it's NHL. Um, Hit four in a row, 27-13 run. It's by far my best NHL season that I've ever had. And I noticed you've been on a really, really nice little run in NBA, but I noticed your plays have changed. You're looking at the plays differently. You've made a little bit of a mindset change this week. So with the plays, so what's been going on there?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that you noticed that actually. It's actually that I've been going more with unders recently in the NBA and riding
Amen,
the
brother.
and riding streaks as well. Back to basics. I was in a rut for a while there. I'll be honest with you guys in all the sports across the board, but I've really picked things up recently. And if you look at my plays, I haven't had many overs in my last 10 plays. It's really been a lot of unders, and especially in the NBA, I feel like I was getting taking a lot of L's because of blowouts, because of a guy not playing in the fourth quarter due to a blowout, and I feel like that's a big advantage, especially in the NBA, that you can have with unders. I think every sport you have to approach a little bit differently, obviously, but in the NBA, there's just so many factors where you get these extra advantages, whether it be injury, guys losing minutes because of a blowout, and things like that. So I've been focusing on unders and sticking with my guys that have been working for me and riding streaks as far as consistently just playing a guy over and over again, as long as the number doesn't change too much.
Yeah, listen, there's no secret. That's been my NHL theory is
Yeah,
betting on things not to happen. And I'm amazed. I'm amazed that we get blowback on unders. We absolutely like oh, they're not exciting. Oh, they're not, they're not fun to watch. And I'm really, really confused by it. I said we had an interesting discussion on Takedown Live where I was talking to Jim and I was like, I think a lot of bettors don't want to win. I don't think I don't think they're concerned with winning because if they were, they would be doing different things or like we would be doing different things as an industry. But I feel like a lot of people they do betting just for the rush or I don't know. I don't know if they would explain, but I just see a lot of people doing the same things over and over and over again that just keep resulting in losses. And it's amazing when you look at player props. There's not too many people just focusing on unders, and yet here you are. You moved to unders and had a great week. I'm doing unders, having the best NHL season I've ever had, and yet I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of you can't get a lot of traction on the
yeah,
unders.
you don't get that flashy name to go over. You know what I mean? And I mean, as far as the excitement value, though, it keeps you interested in the entire game. And when you have an under, you're in it for the long haul. You know what I mean? You're not going to crack it, obviously, in the third quarter, or especially in the hockey unders. You're going to cling to life in some of those. But yeah, I've just been sticking to streaks, sticking to the unders, and I'm kind of just focusing on every night finding the best under I can on the board. If there's not one I don't like, obviously I take a pass. But yeah, it's not as exciting, because you're taking some of the names that aren't as flashy. But if you want to win, that's what you got to find some angles.
I I got to tell you, I find them really exciting. I have completely come around in that I find watching the hockey unders ridiculously exciting. I had to watch the entire Minnesota Wild game last night. I had a guy did not have a point, and every time he comes onto the ice, you're like,
Yeah, right.
you're like, no, don't shoot it. Come on, hope the
Figure.
other team gets the puck. And then you watch the whole game and doesn't have one. Cash it again last night. That's four in a row. I don't know. I find it exciting and I find it profitable. What's amazing is that I just don't see. I don't know. It just feels like I can't get a lot of people on board with some of this. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing that's going on. I will tell you, my personal bankroll. Good God, has been fantastic for NHL. Just doing NHL plays, it's been great. And then like we trip up on a couple other plays here or there. That's why I was saying, we're kind of stuck in the mud. Is like we get up and then we give a little bit back and everything. But NHL has just been amazing, and it's unders. The only category I've been looking at overs is those damn 3-pointers. Like
Yeah.
those are the only ones that I've been looking at on the overs these days. So
My only over actually has been a college basketball player prop. I've just been riding a certain player, and he's been cashing left and right, so I haven't jumped off of him yet. But I have shifted to team total unders in college basketball, and those have really worked out well for me recently
yeah,
as well. So yeah, 5-0 hoops run, um, and I've had a great week, so I'm looking to keep it rolling.
yeah. So yeah, guys, if you want to take advantage of this, I'm feeling so good about what we got moving forward here. If you want to use a promo code Andy30, it gets $100 off a 30-day pass. Since Monday, man, I'm starting to feel that the momentum is headed in the right direction here, especially with some of these NHL plays. If we just need one parlay piece to hit today, and that'll get us up pretty good since Monday. And then we've got a bare knuckle fighting championship play that will go up today.
Nice.
Yeah, very excited about that. It's available on Bet Online. It's available on Bet US, so you have plenty of time to get those accounts loaded. Anybody can start an account there. That's where I've been playing them. We do have an NHL Fire on Ice play that is up there. Lacrosse off of a really nice, just one win last week. That's all we needed. One play. Hit that one. We got a 4% and a 3% play that is up there. So I know that some of these sports aren't like, I know that these sports are just not like what everyone watches, but I'm telling you, they are the best places. They are the best places to cash. So that's what we have going on. Really take advantage of that 30-day pass. I think we're gonna crush the rest of February looking at the schedule and everything. So, Steve, are you in play tonight?
Yeah, I actually have a 3 pack across all three sports, one pick from each one: NBA, NHL, and college basketball. A couple of unders in that package as well. And like I said, 5-0 hoops run. Cash my last couple of NHL plays, and you can use the code 50 off 30. You get $50 off a 30-day pass. And I would get hoops right now, NBA and college basketball together for only $199 with that code 50 off 30.
Nice, nice. Well, let's go through some of these plays in the NBA and the NHL that have been hitting. I always like to kind of look at the streaks and see who's on a pretty crazy streak. And my goodness, look at these two guys. This is on their shots on goal. Joel, I believe it's Armia. Uh, Not barely going over his shots on goal, but really going over his
Wow.
shots on goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in a row, and only two of them or only three of them was where he had two shots on goal. So he's been crushing it. Tough matchup against the Rangers. The Rangers defense has been pretty good since the All-Star break. So especially about allowing shots on goal. So it's only minus 150 if you believe in the streak. I would tell you right now, if he goes over tonight, that thing's going to be minus 190 the next game. So it may be your last time. And then the other guy, Quentin Byfield, you're looking at the exact same thing. This guy's been, I mean, my God. I had a very interesting discussion with Prez. I was saying, oh, I didn't like this play because it was minus 190, and he was like, well, how often has it hit? It's like, I don't know, 80% of the season, and he was making the case that minus 190 is a good price. And we've had this discussion before about like, well, what is too much? I don't know, man. This guy at minus 195, he is going over every single game. um, doesn't get the worst matchup in the world against the Devils. So if you're okay with laying juice or you want a parlay piece, this guy, man, has just been on fire. And it looks like it's just kind of over the last, I don't know, few months here because yeah, it's kind of sprinkling in some pretty decent ones. But good lord, look at that over the last few months. So, Steve, what do you like in the NHL tonight?
I actually have another guy that's riding a streak for shots on goals, Alexis Lafreniere from the New York Rangers. His number tonight sitting at 2.5, negative 130 on the juice. But if you look at it, he's hit his last six overall, and he's been great at home. 15 of his last 16 home games. Faces the great matchup tonight in Montreal, who's allowed the most shots to opposing left wingers in the last 10 games, and they allow the most shots per game overall. So you couldn't ask for a better opponent to keep the streak rolling against them tonight, and a great price on him as well.
Love that one. Any other plays you like in NHL tonight?
Yeah, I'll share an under that I've been riding for a while now. Seth Jones under half of a point. It's only negative 130 tonight. Normally he's around negative 140, negative 150, but he's only scored a point in 13 of 38 games on the season, 5 of his last 15. Tonight he goes up against Pittsburgh, who ranks 5th in goals allowed per game with only 2.76 per game. And the big thing here too is that the Penguins are 8th in penalty kill, 81.6%. Jones is on the first line of the power play for the Blackhawks, so it's great to have a team. I've looked for that as it's great to have a team that kills the power play when you have a guy on the first line when you're looking at an under for their point total.
Yeah, I would also just recommend. I can't believe I put in the Blackhawks team total 2.5 against the Rangers, and that was like the one game that they went over 2.5 and like since Bedard went out. I think there was like one other game. And then they come back with only 2. So I got off of that play. But yeah, if you're looking for a parlay piece or something, Blackhawks team total under something, you might even if at a really good price look at 1.5. This is a Pittsburgh team that has lost 3 straight, but they're they're not they're not this bad, especially on defense. They've given up 5 to Florida, who can score 2. They lost 2-1, but they held Winnipeg to 2. Then they lost 3-2 to Minnesota. Those are teams that can kind of score. So the Pittsburgh Penguins are getting ready to hold someone to like no goals. Their defense just can be really really good. Hasn't been great as of recently, but they've had some moments here. Oh well, first game out of the All Star break, Winnipeg they win 3-0. So wouldn't surprise me if you get a really good performance from that. So
That Rangers game too. I got bit on this Jones play in that Rangers game. He got an
I know
assist.
he had the damn
58
ticket. Yeah,
58 seconds left in the game, man. That was a killer. But the good news is that's really the only time he's burned me in like the last 5 or 6 games. So I'll take that. 5-1, 4-1 with a guy that just gets the point at under a minute left in the game. I can accept it if he's cashed so many other tickets prior to that.
yeah, yeah. Any other NHL plays? You want to move to NBA?
That's all I have for NHL for tonight.
All right, let's move to NBA. I will get us started here. I saw one that was kind of interesting here. It is in the Milwaukee game, and it's Damian Lillard, 3-pointers. You noticed he's not been going over? They keep putting it 2.5, and he can get plus money, and you would have been crushing this one because he keeps landing on 2. This is kind of like the LeBron like thing where the guy keeps landing on 2. So if they have it at 1.5, you're taking the over, but if they have it at 2.5, you're taking the under. So you look at Lillard here. I mean, you're getting plus money on a guy that's gone to under in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 8 out of 11 games. And I know this is counterintuitive. Well, Damian Lillard, take the overs on 3-pointers. He's just not getting there though. So plus money on that. I mean, and honestly, you look at if you would have really started playing plus money, he hits this streak. Probably not that sustainable, but man, you could have really raked in the unders on Damian Lillard. Just at plus money, that streak is incredible. So that was one that I noticed that Damian Lillard's not getting over that 2.5. So What was the play you were looking at?
I'm actually in the same game. I was going to use it as the sneaky play, and you ended up using Triple J. Vince Williams Jr. over 23.5 PRA. So he's really stepped up with the injuries to Morant, Bain, Smart. He's averaging 27.6 PRA per game at home without those guys in the lineup, and he's hitting the last 9 games. His last 5 at home. We were talking about the Bucks not having a very good defense, and they allow the 5th most points and 8th most rebounds to opposing shooting guards. He's been getting a lot more action and a lot more usage on the court, obviously without those guys out there. So I would look to a nice low number as well for what should be a defense that allows a ton of points.
Like that one. Like that one a lot. Golden State at Utah. I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of a letdown potential with Golden State, but I'm not going to get to the window on any of them. So if you're looking at points, rebounds, and assists, all of a sudden there's an Andrew Wiggins sighting. It's just awful. Just awful. The guy was an under galore. And then just, I don't know, maybe it's just Kuminga started playing really good and Wiggins is like, I guess I better get my act together here. But he's gone over this number in 5 straight games, 25, 30, 32, 20, 19. I mean, Utah, listen, they're not playing any defense anytime soon. So maybe Wiggins over his points, rebounds, and assists might be a good one tonight. So any other plays you like in the NBA?
Yeah, I actually have an under on an article that I wrote. The Blazers team total tonight under 102.5. They're playing the T-Wolves for the second time in 3 days, and they did score 109 the other night. They scored 93 in their game earlier in the season, and the Wolves are number 1 scoring defense, only allowing 107 per game. The Blazers are 29th in points in the paint, and field goal percentage, so bottom of the league across the board offensively, and both teams really just favor a slow pace, 20th and 26th in pace. And then the Blazers are dealing with Brogdon's been out for a little while now, and now Scoot Henderson's questionable tonight. If he's out, they're going to be really thin at guard. They're going to have to move Simmons over to potentially play point. Regardless, they'll be thin at the guard position. It's a low total, but I think that I don't think the T-Wolves are going to mess around tonight, and I think defensively they shut them down, keep them under 102.5.
Nice. If you guys could please hit the like button and leave us a comment. Tell us what you want for your sports record Hall of Fame nominee. Tell us what your best bet is. And guys, don't forget to go grab those plays. We could help build your bankroll for sure. So, like I said, the theme of 2024 has just been kind of just off to a little bit of a sputtering start, but I'm seeing glimpses of greatness this week. So encourage everyone to get that 30-day pass. We're gonna have a great end of February and beginning of March. So feeling great about those plays. All right, let's get to the Unbreakable Sports Record Hall of Fame nominee. So Steve, this is we're going to hockey, and we're going for a single season here. Let's talk about Mr. Bobby Orr. What do we like about this guy? Most single season points by an NHL defenseman, 139. So, is it? I know he's on the Mount Rushmore of Boston. Where does he rank though? Like Boston athletes, like all time.
Oh man, that's tough across all the sports.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough, man. I don't know exactly where I'd put him. I'd have to really sit there. There's so many greats, you know what I mean? I have to sit there and think about
Some
it and
tough
really place
ones.
him.
That's
Yeah, I'd have to really think about that one hard because there's just so many across all 4 sports. There's so many great names. I'd have to really put some thought into that one.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this this record. Is it going to make it in? 139 points. What do you think?
Yeah, so it's the most points ever by a defenseman and really the only active defenseman right now with 100 plus is Erik Karlsson. He has 101 in the 22-23 season. And if you look at it, you have to say, yeah, so the Orr and Coffey occupying the top spots across the board. It's just crazy, huh? Like no one's had more than 110 plus since 88, 89.
Yeah.
And one thing, and then this season, you look, Quinn Hughes has 66. He's the leader right now, but that's in 54 games. He has 28 left, so he's projected to get around 100. So he's not even going to sniff this one either. And we just haven't seen the defenseman only one defenseman reach 100 since the 88-89 season. The one thing that I found interesting is I couldn't find like that they didn't really keep an accurate time of ice numbers if you looked at it for back then. So the best you can find is that Orr was playing like around 35, 40 minutes a game, and like it was. There's no definite answer though to it. There's all these different quotes about he played 40 minutes this night, he played 30. There was a joke that he'd let the other guys have a chance for 20 minutes a game. Essentially, it was the kind of like the running joke. And if you look at the defenseman now, or even just any player, defensemen obviously lead the way with time of ice, and there isn't anyone over 26 minutes per game right now. So it's a big advantage having so much more. And even prior to him, you look back and I guess guys were playing the entire game, kind of like all sports. They would, as time goes on, these guys play less and less.
I mean, one of the funny things is, I mean, Steve, back then they like had hair product in because they weren't wearing helmets. Yeah, I mean, you go look at it makes sense why you could play that many minutes. I mean, let's face it, the speed and the power and the wear and tear on the human body was not not like today. I mean, you watch the NHL today, and it's just a minute of pure anarchy on your body when you do one shift in the NHL. So yeah, I don't want to say asterisk, but yeah, it goes back to the Warren Buffett thing. Like, why is Warren Buffett so rich? It's not because he's smarter than everyone else. It's because he's older than everybody else. It's just like longevity. So if you're playing a lot more minutes, yeah. So even if we say that is like the reason, do we hold it against him, or do we just say that's just the nature of the beast? Because I'm on the fence about, is it completely untouchable? Because Erik Karlsson within, like, that's within 37 points, but that's a lot. That's pretty far away. I mean, even at
Yeah.
even at 1.5 goals a game, that's still like an extra 20 games that you would have to do. And yeah, Quinn Hughes, I thought it was interesting that he was over 1 goal or 1 point per game on pace. Like, this season was 1.7 points per game. Quinn Hughes is like 1.2, so not even really close this year. And I just don't know. You go look at who's leading the points this year. It's all wingers and centers. It's not defensemen. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think
I'm
when you look at those numbers, the Carlson, he at 101, but another 37, that's 37% or so roughly of what he already had. You know what I mean? So that's a big jump, really.
yeah. I don't know, Steve. We got to make a final decision. Is this unbreakable? Like, will it never ever be broken? Will a defenseman be able to get to 139 points in a regular season?
I think I think it is. It's borderline. I think it is though, because just the fact that no one has had more than 110 since 88, 89. So we're talking about 35 years now that no one's gotten to 110. And I feel like your point about, the wingers and centers doing the bulk of the scoring, obviously that makes a lot of sense. And I don't think that there's going to be any sort of minutes increase anytime soon. If anything, it will be less. So I don't see someone breaking it. I really don't.
The minutes is what puts it over the top for me. Because I did the same thing. It was like, well, how do you score 138 points? It's like, well, because you're on the ice, for longer than everybody. There's no way that any hockey player, I don't care if it's the Connor McDavid, McKinnon, none of these guys can even remotely get the ice time that some of the older ones do. And that's why I think you see that's why it's the same two guys. I mean, they have these two guys first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth most points, and it was way back when. It says a lot. I think it says a lot about the era. It says a lot about the game, and I think it just says a lot about like how many minutes. So I think I'm with you that it does. I think it goes in. I'm not really sure how a defenseman gets to 139 points in one season, even if they're playing every single game. That's one. It's almost 1.5 points per game. That's just too. It's too many points. I think it makes it in.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's
Okay.
not one of those. It definitely makes it in. I just don't see anyone anyone sniffing it that no one has in so long now.
All right. Most points by NFC by NHL defenseman Bobby Orr, 138. Congratulations, Bobby. Of all the records that you hold, by far the one you're most proud of is that you have made it into our Unbreakable Sports Record Hall of Fame. So, most points by an NHL defenseman. I guess I have to add in here one season. One season. So, all right, we have to make a new screen. This one's full, so we'll start
Yes.
getting some more in. So guys, if you want, just make sure you leave in the comment section which one you want to do, and if you want to come on and discuss your nominee, we'd love to have you on here. So we can record it before the show, so it doesn't have to be exactly on Wednesdays or whenever we record. So just let us know in the comment section, and make sure you take advantage of that 30-day pass, $100 off 30-day pass. It's weird with us. The winning record is there. We're at like I think we're over 58%. We've just lost a couple of bigger plays. So, anyways, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us on Road to Millions. Hit the like button, hit the bell to subscribe, and we'll be back tomorrow. Road to Millions. We'll get you ready for the weekend. I don't know, Steve. It's crazy without football, huh?
Yeah, it's a big gap now on Sundays especially, and then this weekend the no NBA really either. We got the All Star break, so it's really really a shutdown in sports all at once going through withdrawals.
I'm excited, man. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm excited for the profits. Lacrosse, bare knuckle fighting, NHL. Those are the sports that I need to turn a profit. So hope everyone enjoys us on the place. All right, guys. We'll see everyone tomorrow on Road to Millions. Good luck on your place tonight.
Good luck, guys.